Hello everyone, it's Joe here and welcome to episode number 6 of the Snake Draft FPL League podcast. In this show, we'll be going through all the key issues in Draft Fantasy Premier League. There'll be a bit about our league, which is hosted by the website Draft Fantasy Football. We use official FPL scoring with the addition of Kante points, which are 1 extra point for every 2 tackles or interceptions. So while we're focused on DFF, what we chat about will also definitely apply to official FPL and Togger style draft fantasy as well. We'll also chat through a couple of general football and fantasy topics and have a bit of a laugh with each other while we do it. We're starting to ramp up the content to help you win your draft league, so I would definitely advise subscribing and hitting that notification bell so you get our tips before anyone else in your league does. Snake Draft FPL is a 12-man league, and I am joined today by 3 of them. First up, same old Mike. How you doing? You're just, I try not to get you on the pod, and then someone lets us down, and here you are every week. How are you?
I know, I'm just old reliable. It's the nickname.
That's it, old reliable. Exactly that. Also, we've got Brad. Appearance number 2 for you, Brad. How are you?
Yeah, good to be here again. I'm good. Not so good in the league, but we'll get on to that.
Yeah, we certainly will. And a debutant of the podcast game, John. You've been tired of me slagging your team off every single week. You've come on to defend yourself. How are you doing?
I know, I've had to defend my team this week, haven't I? It's been slated the last 2 weeks. So, I feel good. Happy to be here.
Good.
I don't know why. I'm stirred.
Listen, exactly what we're going to be talking about in our first topic, which is going to be sort of, seeing as there's been no Premier League football for what feels like weeks and there's been no game week to review, we're going to do a bit of a sort of, we're 7 weeks in. How have you done so far? What do you need to improve or not improve in some cases? Are you just going to stick with what you're doing? So we're going to have a look back on sort of, the league as a whole so far this season. We'll go in position order because we've got a good broad spectrum of the league this week. Starting with you, Mike. Last place. It's very tight. It's not like you're marooned at the bottom, but how are you feeling? How do you feel like it's gone so far?
Terribly, to be honest. It's not the best start, but it's actually not that far away. I'm on 7 points. There's so many people above me just on 9. It's only 1 game in it really, so it's not. Try not to think of it too much. Just going to concentrate going forward.
Good attitude, Dan. I will. Yeah. I will say I was looking at the fixtures this week, and if you win, there is a scenario where you could get all the way up to 6th, which is pretty crazy considering you're 12th at the moment. So it's
That's
not,
like
I say, you're not cut off. I think that would be quite unlikely, but it is possible. So yeah, you're definitely still in the mix. Do you think, looking at your team, obviously at the draft, you were the big story amongst all of us, really, because you were fucking miserable. You had your head in your hands, teary, saying, why have I picked all these players? Literally, why have I done this? So looking at your team and just sort of on a general note, obviously, very recently got rid of Grealish, pick number 1 for Mopé, which, a lot of people were slating you. A lot of people were slating you all over the internet. But do you think that's going to sort you out? Are you excited about that?
I'm already bottom. I'm either going to stay bottom through that trade, or it might actually benefit me. Really, I don't think Grealish is actually playing that well. I personally think he might get dropped. Sterling might start playing. Personally,
Please.
I was going to say there's someone else in this call that's hoping for that as well. To be fair, okay,
Mopé's always going to play.
Yeah,
so
he's guaranteed minutes.
Cool. Yeah,
and your forward situation was pretty dire, wasn't it? So
yeah, I got Jesus, but he could get retired at any minute.
Yeah. Okay, so if I said I'll give you £1,000 if you tell me where you finish in the league this season, what would you say? Not where do you want to finish, but where do you realistically think you'll finish?
9th.
Wow.
I think I'll finish low.
I really do respect that. 9th, that's brutal. Okay, fair enough.
And that'll be a good season for you, Mike.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, to be honest, looking at your team at the draft, we were all like, he is not going to win all year.
No.
It just seemed like every pick that came around to you, it was like, well, there's this player that no one really wants, like Grealish. Like, obviously people want them, but not yet. Like Grealish, Foden, Jota. Everyone was like, oh, I want him, but I'm not really sure. Long term, is he a good pick? And like, every single time it was on you to get him. So I think, okay, that's fair. I think that's reasonable. That's very reasonable. Moving on then to the next lowest is you, Brad. 8th in the league so far. You're in the bunch on 9 points. There's 7 people on 9 points, so you're right in the thick of it. Do you like your I'll start with just an easy question. Do you like your team?
Yes or no? No. But I've had it's not the best team I've had for as long as we've been doing the league, but it could be worse. I think it just all comes down to Sterling. We've spoken about him before a few times, and I was just thinking about it earlier. When we were at the draft, I don't think anyone was really surprised that I picked Sterling, 7th pick. No. Everyone knows he's going to be rotated, but to play as little as he has was a bit of a surprise. I think that's just mainly what my team's come down to. Sterling getting 1 or 2 pointers, wherever it is, every week, or even 0 points. He needs to be a main man. If I had a Mane or, I don't know, just one of these reliable 8 points a week players, it would look a lot better.
I was just thinking, actually, so Mane is on 29. No, is that right? Hang on. He is on 29 points more than Sterling. And I was the pick before you, and I got Mane. And the difference in our overall score is 30 points, basically. So, literally the difference between our teams basically is Mane or Sterling, and we're 1 pick different. So it is the story of your season really so far, isn't it?
Yeah, I think people look at my team and think that's not very good, but it's if he was playing every game, it would look a bit different.
It'd be ticking wrong.
We'll see what happens with him. But,
who would you have drafted if you didn't get Sterling, Brad? Who were the next couple of
options? Yeah, that's a good question. You were next after me and went for Sancho.
I mean, he's done a lot much better.
He's even worse, I'd say.
Yeah. So, there weren't a lot of other choices, to be honest, and I thought I couldn't really look past him. We'll just have to hope that Pep starts playing him, maybe for Grealish or.
You got to think. I mean, you never really know with Pep, but he will come in and out of the team. You just got to hope that he gets one of those runs, because Pep does people say, "Oh, Pep, you can't predict it," but players do go on runs of starting with him, and you just when he gets on one of those runs, you just hope he starts banging the points and takes advantage of it. I think that's sweet. So looking forward, then, Brad, do you think how do you see your prospects going forward? Do you think playoffs are likely, or do you think they're 50-50, or do you think they're unlikely?
It'd be a little bit of a stretch at the moment, I think. I'm 8th, but it depends how you look at it, joint 5th or joint 11th. So I'm like smack bang in the middle of them. But going forward, I don't know. It just, again, I don't like to be a one-man team, but just hope that Sterling picks up a bit and just, sneak a few wins maybe.
Yeah.
Relying on my team without him is a bit much, but it's not too bad.
Same question as I said to Mike then. Where do you think, if I give you £1,000 if you get it right, where do you think you'll finish? Not including playoffs, so like the actual league after 36 weeks.
Yeah. I don't know, I think just outside 6th or 7th or something.
I love the honesty.
Which is a bit painful, but
I can tell you right now, I will not be predicting myself to come 6th or 7th. So next up is me. I am 5th at the moment, but like Brad said, joint 5th or joint 11th, all on 9 points. It's been so, everyone's beaten everyone really this season, apart from Nathan and Jordan, who seem to be beating everyone. But joint 9 points. I'm on 3 in a row though, so I do feel like momentum. I don't feel as like in this. If you win one, lose one, lose one, whatever, you kind of feel like you're not really got much momentum. But 3 wins in a row, I do feel pretty good with my team. So looking forward, I do think I've got a good chance this year. I mean, once you get to playoffs, anything can happen, really, can't it? But yeah, I do think, especially if I can make a couple of trades, I like my team. I think I've got a good core of players, but I'd like to make a couple of changes. I don't like how many Wolves players I've got, and I don't like having De Bruyne and Mahrez. But I think, especially if Mahrez can get a run of starts, I think it'll be good. One of them will get traded out, I would imagine, by Christmas. So I do think I'm in quite a good place. If I had to guess where I'd finish £1,000 on it, I'd probably say after 36 weeks, I'd probably say second. I don't think anyone is gonna finish higher than Nath, actually, and I hate to say that. You hate to say that, but I just think his team is really good. I think the only thing, if West Ham fall off a cliff, that Antonio Benrahma partnership has really sorted them out so far, hasn't it? I mean, obviously Salah is Salah, but one player doesn't get you to the playoffs. And he's got so many points from those two that if West Ham go deep in Europa or have an injury crisis or fall off a cliff, maybe he'll be overtaken. But his team does look good. So, yeah, I think I'll finish second. John, we'll come on to you now. Good start to the season, sitting pretty in third place. You've been there and done it all before. You've made playoffs. You've missed playoffs, but just about. But you're always in the mix. What? How do you finish on so far? Previous champion, of course. And you might, and me.
Who is it? Oh, sorry, Brad.
Brad.
Brad, you're on with the champs now. We should have got Dave on. Why is Brad it?
Yeah, should have got Dave. All champs.
Yeah.
John, how do you think
it's gone this season? No, it's been good. I think I've got a bit lucky with Townsend being as good as he has been. I think he'll probably drop off at some point, but I've got a couple of big hitters coming back with Calvert-Lewin and Sancho. Well, I hope Sancho kicks on and does something now. It's looking good so far.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Do you think, like, when you... So, my thing with your team is every time I look at it... So this is what... I don't actually think your team is bad, but every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, look at all those teams. Do you like having the best player from shit teams, or is it just chance that you have like 4 of the best players in shit teams? Or more than 4, actually, like 7.
Most of my team.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just chance this year.
Okay.
Yeah, I love a good Kante point as well. So like Oriol Romeu, he's been in my team this whole year, 4 or 5 points every week.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Like just as well. It just seems to be doing the trick. I love having some position where, or some players even where I can just drop them at the end of the game week and get a new.
I'm exactly the same.
So yeah, I've been doing that quite a bit this year. I traded Pookie, Armstrong for Pookie as well.
Shit for shit.
Shit for shit, but at least Pookie takes penalties.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, I think I don't like. I just can't. I can't reconcile your team in my head. Like I just can't decide whether I think it's good or not. I just can't get over all the kits. There's too many kits, like, and they're all stripy. I don't like it. Yeah, you've got yellow, you've got stripy. No, that's not for me.
I don't like it at all. It's doing the business at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. It's doing the business. Yeah, you've done well so far. Do you think you're, because you've not? It's not like you've been absolutely smashing it every week. You've just been pretty consistent, haven't you? It's been like, mid 40s, mid to upper 40s, basically every week, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm so used to having this type of season which Mac has, winning on 29 points. And this year, it's nice to have some consistency.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And so the question I've asked everyone else: where do you honestly think you're going to finish after 36 weeks?
Top 4.
Where in the top 4?
In the playoffs. 4th.
Yeah, I can see you sneaking in 4th.
I can see that. Yeah, I think it'll be tight between 4th and 5th, and I'll sneak in.
Yeah, I can see that.
A point on the final.
Okay. Just like as we're looking back now, just out of interest. So, Mike, you think you're going to finish 9th? I think you said. Who do you think is going to finish 12th?
I mean, it can't not be Mac. Right?
Well, I mean, he's above.
But
all of us
he gets
above
wins.
John at the moment.
I know, but
someone does every year. Someone does every year.
Mac's team is awful.
It's terrible.
He should have been here tonight to defend himself.
Yeah, he backed out at the last minute. It's a shame. I would have liked to have Mac on. I would have liked to ask him these questions. No, true.
Sorry, I'd say it'd be interesting to know, because I do think Mac will be Sacco. But it'd be interesting to know who he's actually going to be playing though. In the Sacco.
True. But I think this is okay. So I asked all of you again, excluding Mac. I actually not sure Mac is going to finish bottom, but I do think he has the worst team. So statistically, it probably will be him. But excluding Mac, because I think other than Mac, the teams are really, really close. Who do you think will finish bottom apart from Mac? Mike, get back to you.
Ben.
Really? See, I would think Ben's team's quite good. What do you think, Brad?
Yeah, Ben's got a good Sacco Bowl record, hasn't he?
Yeah, he loves it. He loves it. He
tends
thrives
to be
on
in
it.
and around there. I don't know. I think he'll do okay. The sort of mid bottom half or something.
Yeah,
like
7th
or 10th.
9th.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It's so hard with all of us at the minute on 9th. Next few weeks will be quite big, I think, to see who pulls away or drops in there.
Yeah. Agreed. So who? I'm not gonna let you set the fence. I want a name.
I'll say Ben again.
John, who do you think?
Oh, it's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
Ben or Nick, and I would say Ben.
That's a good show, actually.
Nick.
I always say Ben as well. See, I'm going to stick up for you, Ben. I actually think Ben's team's sneaky, medium.
I like his midfield. Midfield.
I just feel like he's got a lot of players that are going to just chug along and not do great, but he'll just get enough wins to get by, I think Nick's team is sneaky bad. He got manager of the month and everyone was like, oh, his team's actually good. But we all thought it was awful at the draft. But then 4 wins out of 4, you think, oh, well, we're all idiots. If he hadn't got Lukaku on the waivers, he would be in big trouble.
He'd be
massive
in trouble.
Yeah. Obviously, Lukaku.
His first pick was Mount.
Yeah. Not great. Not great. His second pick was, I don't even know. I literally don't even know who his second pick was. I'm looking at his team thinking, no, it was Trent. Yeah, it was Trent. You're right. Yeah, but I do think Lukaku will give him enough to finish 8th. I think a lot of people are going to finish 8th. Obviously, not everyone can, but there's a lot of teams I think 8th. I'm really struggling.
Lukaku's not done anything for 3 weeks though.
Yeah,
not looking good, and now he's injured or fatigued.
Do you know who I think it's going to be? Dave.
Oh,
I hate to say it, and but do you know? So a light went off in my head last week when he said on the podcast last week, my team looks a lot like Mac's team from last year. Right? He said that, and as soon as he said it, I just was like, oh my god, he's so right. And Ben said to him on the podcast last week, but Dave, I've not really looked at your team this year. It's shit. He's right. I think it could be Dave. He's not the saving grace with Dave is he's very, very much in tune with what's going on. And if there's a pick emerges, he'll probably be one of the first to get him. So if someone springs up out of nowhere, there's a few teams that I always think in my head they'll pop up on, like Dave, me, John. We're normally the ones like Brad as well. Not you, Mike, sorry. But in my head, like they're the teams that I think, if like Lundstrom, for instance, out of nowhere, I had him for a week, dropped him because I thought no one would pick him up, and then he's on John's team straight away. Like that kind of pick can turn your season around. And that's the only thing with Dave that might save him, because I think if we lock the teams now, he'd be in big trouble. Big trouble.
With Dave, though, I mean, eventually Kane's going to have to start scoring. Hasn't he? Really? Like, he should. I think he will. It is Harry Kane. I think the goals will come. And you've got Rashford, who's going to start playing. Should we start playing next game, I think, possibly.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'm being harsh. I don't like it, though. But the thing is, everyone has those. Everyone has a half decent team. Like there's no one. Sorry, Mac. There's no one on the Mac. Whose team is like really trash. And even like if Aubameyang starts like really firing, which isn't, he's only had one bad year, and like he has scored twice already, so it's not like he's immune to having a good season. Everyone has, like, I'm looking at Boer's team. I don't really like this team. He's got Ronaldo, so you know that he's going to get a decent amount of points. You look at Nick's team and think this team's fucking shit, but he's got Lukaku, so you know the points are going to come. You look at Connor's team and I think, well, Connor's team's not great, but he's got loads of half-decent picks. Ben's got like a good midfield that are going to get solid points every week. Like, there's no pushovers really. I think there's going to be a big dog down there. I just hope it's not me, because I think it's going to be a tight year.
I've got no big hitters. It might be me.
True, but you've got a lot of. Well, yeah. I don't want to talk about your team anymore, John. I can only do so long on fucking Pookie and Pascal Gross. Cool. Right. That's good then. Let's move on to the sort of the main, the meat of the episode. Some player picks. I just thought this week, instead of like deep diving on specific players, we'll do a bit of like, who would you rather have in your team? I think it's good, like if people are watching from our league or from other leagues, like at least you can sort of think if you've got one of them, you can maybe offer a trade, or you could, good for a bit of that. So we'll start with a trade that has been offered in the league and both of these picks are owned by us. Mahrez, who's owned by me, versus Sancho, who's owned by John. I'm going to start with the other two to see, because I'm a bit torn on this. Brad, I'll start with you. Who would you rather have and why?
Yeah, it's a really hard one, because I didn't realise until I was looking earlier that Sancho has been on the bench for sort of longer than I thought. I thought it was only the last 1 or 2 games, but he's fallen a little bit out of favour already. And but on the flip side, Mahrez hasn't been playing at all really from the start. It's a really hard comparison. I think Sancho's more likely to get minutes. Eventually, he's a big money signing. He's going to come in and he'll get that goal just to set him off, and I think he will turn good. Mahrez, again, like we said earlier with Sterling, eventually he should get a run in the team. Just depends if he starts picking up points. Personally, because I got Sterling, I would go Sancho, because I know what it's like. But
interesting.
And neither of them are very.
Do you know, they're the kind of picks, and you have it every year with a load of players. They're the kind of picks that you think someone has to own these players. They're good enough that, even in like a 16 or maybe not 18 league, obviously someone's got Sancho. Even in a 16 league, someone's got Sancho, someone's got Mahrez. So they're obviously good enough that everyone's gone, but no one really wants them. You don't want to be the guy that has Mahrez coming on for 1 point every week, or the guy that has Sancho coming on for 1 point every week. No. So it's a weird situation. You're just kind of playing on potential. Mike, I'll go to you next. What do you think of the two of them?
So Sancho's obviously getting less and less minutes. Sorry, my cat's jumping up here.
Classic.
Yeah, Sancho's getting less minutes.
That's all right, because then I can classify it under the category of pets, and I think it's less complicated.
Mahrez obviously hasn't been playing, but could be on the flip side. I mean, after this international break, maybe Mahrez is going to start playing and Sancho is just going to get dropped off completely, miss a lot of games. So for me, if it is in my team, I'd have to have Sancho because I will not touch another City player ever again. But no, if I was you doing the trade, I would keep Mahrez personally.
Okay. So kind of disregarding the rest of your team, who do you think will score more points going forward?
I think it'd be quite even, to be honest.
Okay.
Don't really want to say.
Very even.
It's hard. It's too hard to tell until Mahrez starts playing. I think then you get a good idea.
All right. Okay, John. Let's. So you own Sancho. Yes. You have said to me, you've not actually sent it on DFF, which makes me know you're nervous about it. But you have said to me multiple times, Sancho for Mahrez. I have yet to also put anything on the site because I am also not sure. What are you sick of? Is it just because you're sick of Sancho, or are you just? Do you actually think Mahrez will score more points?
I think it's a win-win situation for both of us. If I get Mahrez and he just sits on my bench, lots away, that's what Sancho is doing at the moment. Whereas you'll win because it's a win for you because you don't have two Man City players. Diversify your team. I think Sancho will come good. I don't think either of them will really break the 100-point barrier this season. I don't see it happening. Or maybe just breaking it, but yeah, shit for shit.
I don't like to say it, but it is shit for shit. And this is a first and second pick, first and second round pick. Just looking at the points so far, so Mahrez is on 14 and Sancho's on 10. So you can definitely classify that as shit for shit. Sancho's actually played a few more minutes than Mahrez, but it is very, very close. So from my point of view, I think that they're similar at the moment in that neither of them are really playing, and they've got massive potential, both of them. The difference for me is, and the reason why I've been kind of umming and ahhing over it, is that we know Mahrez is quality in the Premier League, and we know that Pep doesn't hate him. Like he plays him in big games sometimes. He plays him against shit teams sometimes. So Mahrez, he's going to play like 30% of the minutes pretty consistently. Like he'll come off the bench one week, he won't feature until the next week, and he'll start the next week. And like that will be like, he's not going to get wiped out the squad completely, and he's probably not going to start every game either. Whereas Sancho, you don't know he's proven in the Premier League, really. I mean, he's obviously a fantastic player, and you don't really know if he could catch fire and play every minute for the rest of the season. He could be in and out the side all season, or he could basically never play. And that's, I think, more risky than Mahrez, who is going to average like 35 minutes. Do you know what I mean? It's a different kind of risk, I think. And that, for me, is why I think Mahrez is probably the better pick. But I don't think I'd advise someone to get Mahrez over Sancho. I think it really depends on your team. Like, if you've got a decent team, I think it's worth keeping Mahrez because he's going to tick over. And like at the moment he's not playing, but he probably will have a run at some point, and he'll get minutes off the bench. I mean, he scores off the bench all the time. Whereas Sancho, I think, is just a complete risk. Like, he might be amazing, he might be shit, but so that's why I've not done it so far. But if someone said to me, who will score more points for the rest of the season, I think I'd probably say, I want to say Sancho, but I'm not. But I don't know. I don't know. What do you think about that? So, John, who do you think will score more points for the rest of the season?
Mahrez, but it'll be once every 3 games.
Yeah. My fear, so say we did the trade, right? And I do want to get rid of Mahrez. So this is a bit of an advert for him. If anyone else has a decent offer, better than Sancho. Mahrez, I think, for the rest of the season will go 1-0-9-1-3-1-9.
Yeah.
Sancho will probably go 1-1-1-1-1-1-1. And then maybe we'll go like, 6-8, 6-8, and then start and catch fire and go on a run. But he might not. Whereas we all know what Mahrez is going to do. He does it every year. Every year I have it, and every year I hate it. So, yeah, it's a tough.
You've got the African Cup of Nations coming up anyway, so.
You're right, John. It's coming, Joe.
I'll withdraw that straight away.
I want to talk about the AFCON because every fucking. I keep seeing it on Twitter as well. It's not just our group chat.
Yeah, no,
I see someone
all
on
over Twitter.
FPL Twitter. Some guy saying he's already used his wild card. He wants to drop Saar because he's worried about AFCON. I'm like, fucking hell! It's 3 months away. It's a month long, but it's during the winter break. They miss 2 game weeks. If they get to the final, they'll probably miss 3 game weeks, and that's it. But 2 game weeks is nothing. And in previous seasons, because it's mid-season, it's not like they go it's not like an international tournament when they need to go on holiday after it. It's mid-season, so they generally just fly back and play. So it's 2 weeks, maybe 3. So yeah, are Algeria any good? I don't think they're great. So I doubt they'll get to the final. They got some decent players. Is Ben Rama Algerian? I think he might be.
Might be.
Yeah. So that's that.
Faguli.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's move on to the next one. That was quite a long one, but I think that's quite a close one. Bamford versus Jimenez next then. No one here. Connor has Bamford, doesn't he? I've got Jimenez. I didn't mean to pick all my players, but just on the mind. So, John, let's go straight back to you. Bamford versus Jimenez. Who would you rather have?
Jimenez. 100%.
Okay. Easy? Wolves, is that easy?
I think so. For me, Wolves are now hitting a good run of form. Scoring goals. He's on fire. Bamford, he's been injured. He didn't really look that convincing when he was playing. I'd rather Jimenez at this moment in time. Easy.
Good. Okay. Well, that's nice then. Brad, what about you? Is it closer for you?
Yeah, it's close. Not as close as Mahrez Sancho, but again, I would go Jimenez. But like John said, Bamford's he's not been so good this season. A little bit of a second season syndrome, maybe. I don't know. I don't really like him. I don't know what it is about him.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought this was really close, actually. I kind of, if Connor offered me Bamford for Jimenez right now, I'd seriously think about it. Just based on sort of last season, really. And I think if he's been carrying this injury and he might actually get over it, maybe he'll look a bit better. But maybe not. Maybe it's something completely different. Mike, what do you think?
I think it's one-sided Jimenez. He's just a better player. And that link up with Wang now, I can see that's going to be so good for your team with Wang and Jimenez. That's going to be good. But yeah, Bamford. I had Bamford last season. He did get me points every now and again, but it wasn't consistent enough. Whereas I think Jimenez will be very consistent. So yeah, it's a landslide for me, really.
Wow, there we go then.
If you asked me that one like 4 game weeks ago, I'd say Bamford.
Yeah,
he got that first goal, didn't he, Jimenez, against Saints? But I think he looks back to his best now.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
what, Mike? Just on what you said there about Wang and Jimenez, what do you think about Bamford or Wang? Because obviously he doesn't have the pedigree Jimenez has, but he has looked a real talent. I mean, great finisher.
Yeah, he looks really good. That's tough.
That's closer, isn't it? That's got to be closer.
That's closer, I think. I think that's a closer call. I probably have Bamford because he's more proven.
I think so. Yeah. What about you, John?
Yeah, I think probably Bamford over Wang. And looking at your team, Joe, if Wolves blank 1 week, it's
a big part of my team. I don't like it. Luckily, they've got great fixtures for like 2 months, but after that, You're going to be making some changes. What do you think, Brad?
Yeah, I agree. I think Hwang, he's a good player and he's going to do well, but he might get swapped out of the team. They got a lot of sort of attacking mids.
Yeah, especially when Neto
so
comes
it's
back.
not like nailed on. That's it.
Okay, well that was easier then. Next one I think might be easy as well. I don't really think I thought this through. Foden versus Pogba. And the reason why I put these two... John, have you just made a trade?
Yeah. I've been live tonight on that waiver wire.
Marcel Cavani. That literally, as I looked down at the notes, it's like John Lineker made a free transfer. that's brilliant. Marcel. Is that because I just said Wolves have got good fixes for like 2 months?
I knew they did, but I just had another look, and yeah, I saw Marcel was sat there waiting for me.
I love that. That's brilliant. That's really got me off my stride. So it's Foden versus Pogba's next, and the reason why I put this in is this is more of a. I don't have an asked you yet, but my intuition is telling me everyone's going to say Foden. But if you look over the season, because Foden's not going to play every minute, then we know that, even no matter how good he is. Do you think Pogba might outscore him just through picking up Kante points, assists, goals, like trickling in? I'll start with the United boy, John. Do you think there's any chance Pogba can keep up with him? Or is this a one-sided one?
I think he probably can keep up with him. If you have a look at Pogba's points so far this season, when Man U have blown teams away, he's hit 10 points, 17 points. It's when Man U draw at home to Everton, he gets 2. But if he plays every game, or most games, I'll just see him maybe because of that.
Yeah. I mean, points-wise, it's not close. Pogba is way ahead. Obviously, Foden had a bit of a dodgy start due to injury, so that's why. But going forward, I think this might be closer than it seems at first glance. What do you think, Brad? Do you think this is easy for you?
Yeah, I think it's that pep roulette again, isn't it? It's it kind of balances it out between the two.
Yeah.
John said, when Pogba's doing well, he does really well. Other weeks, he's just blanking because of the position he plays, really. I don't really know who I'd rather have. Probably Pogba at the minute because I'm sick of this City rotation. But
yeah, that's the thing. At least you know, like you put him in your team, it's probably going to get 3 or 4 points, but he might get 12. Whereas Foden, you don't even know if he's going to be. You're sweating that team sheet, which is everyone hates. It comes to like 2 o'clock or 3:30 or whatever time it is. You're like, please be in the lineup. And when they're not, you're just like, I don't even want to watch this now. So it is a bit of a mentality thing. What do you think, Mike? I'm assuming you're going to say Foden by far.
It's funny you bring this up because Bannister did offer the trade Pogba for.
Has Foden. He really? I didn't know that. I actually
it was a while ago. I think it's a few, maybe 2 game weeks ago. I think it's when Foden first started playing again.
Yeah,
I rejected it straight away because although Pogba will get more minutes, I think now that Foden's actually back, he's going to be playing more, and he will finish on more points than Pogba. I just think when he plays, he does bits. He like score. Yeah. Whereas Pogba might get you some Kante points, or like John said, unless United are going to go wild, which I can't see, then he's not really going to do much.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that the problem with Pogba, right? I think if you said to me Pogba was going to start on the left for the rest of the season, like he did at the end of the last year and the first couple of games this year, I'd say I'd rather have Pogba. But with Ronaldo, Greenwood, Sancho, Bruno, Rashford's now back, you've got Lingard waiting in the wings as well. How much is Pogba going to play in that deeper central midfield role where I don't think he's been very good for years now, whereas he looks really good on the left? And I think if he plays centre mid, I don't think it's close. I think Foden is going to outscore him by miles. But I think if he gets a run on the left, especially if they get another injury, like if Greenwood or Rashford has a setback or something like that, I think it could be close. But yeah, I think Foden. I think most people, if they had Pogba and were offered Foden, would take it pretty quick, I think. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. Like, how much does the pep roulette I think if they played the same minutes, everyone is going Foden, and it's not close. But how much does it dent people's confidence in players is interesting. So Brad said he'd probably rather have Pogba. I think it's pretty close. I think I'd rather have Foden just because I don't mind the.
I was thinking of him on the left, to be fair.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
If he's deep, it's easy then, I think. But yeah. Okay, next up. This one, I think I know what Brad's going to say. Vardy, Brad's main man, versus Aubameyang, who would have been Mac's main man, but obviously dipped out after I had made these. Thank you, Mac. So I will go first. I would actually rather have Aubameyang, and it's mainly obviously recent form. Vardy's way out ahead, but I don't think Leicester look great. I think Iheanacho is coming back, and I think he takes some of the shot volume away from Vardy, whereas Aubameyang is untouchable in our lineup, in Arsenal's lineup. And I think he's going to do all right this year. I think he I think he'll just feed off the chances we create. He's just going to pick up goals by not really doing much. So I think I'd rather have Aubameyang, but I do think it is close. What do you think, Mike? What do you think?
If you had asked me at the start of the season before it began, I'd have said Aubameyang, because I didn't expect Vardy to be playing every minute, carry on his usual, Vardy ways. I was expecting Iheanacho and even Daka to start playing, but going on current form, I think you have to say Vardy. But I do agree with what you're saying. I think Aubameyang, he will get some points this year, which he should do. He's world class. He's just not being himself.
What do you think, John?
Yeah,
I think it's Vardy for me. It's even when Leicester haven't been playing well or scoring goals. I was just having a look at his previous points. He's hit figures in there, 8-point weeks. I'd go Vardy over Aubameyang. I like Aubameyang, but I just think Vardy's will get more points.
Fair enough. What do you think, Brad? I think we know where this is going.
He's my main man at the minute. But, I didn't expect it when I picked him. I was a bit wary. Like Mike said, Iheanacho's there, Daka came in.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anyone expected him to do as well as he has so far. Aubameyang, he is quite reliable across the season, isn't he? Great player. But it's tough. I think Vardy might edge it. I can't see him chopping off.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I just think, I don't know, there's some... I'm the worst person to ask this to be honest, because I hate Vardy and I love Aubameyang. So I'm really trying to be unbiased, but I just can't help but look at the goals Vardy scored and think, is this sustainable? But then he's been literally doing exactly that for 7 years. So it must be sustainable. So yeah, maybe I'm an idiot. But if I promise you now, if I had Vardy and Mac offered me Aubameyang, I'd do it.
I can't see that.
So.
Sorry, John's just offered me a trade for Foden.
Really?
Saint Max.
Ooh, okay, let's do that. Who would you rather have, Brad?
Foden.
Yeah, me too.
Ooh, wrong decision.
Me too.
And it's me too. Reject.
Nice.
Yay.
Yeah, I think John's trying to cash in as a Max while everyone loves him, but even with the takeover, I think I'd rather have Foden. Fair enough.
John knows I'm a do it for the content kind of person, so pick on my weakness here. I'll get him now.
Good idea. I actually want Foden off you, Mike, to be fair, really badly. I just can't have Foden, Mahrez and De Bruyne. So,
well, take Sancho off my hands.
I'm still considering that, John. I am thinking about it. The thing is, like I said, I do think Mahrez will score more points. So then why am I doing it? Just because they all both play for City, it doesn't make sense. You just got to go for the points. That's what matters at the end of the day, isn't it? It's all about points. Okay, let's look. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
Sorry. I was going to say, do you think Lacazette's actually going to start playing again? The reason I say that is because Boar's just picked him up.
Yeah, I just saw that. To be fair, he's dropped Origi.
Origi, yeah.
Who doesn't play?
Non-starter.
Maybe he's gone back and watched
exactly.
the podcast we did last week or the week before where we were saying, why the fuck has he picked him up? So maybe he's gone back and watched that and been like, oh yeah, why have I got him? I don't remember having him. I don't think Lacazette will start either, no. Maybe if we get an injury. He actually did look better than Aubameyang in the Brighton game. He came on for like 20 minutes and he looked all right. I mean, Lacazette, you know what you're going to get. He's quite a classy player, good touches, good laying off, but he's not. I just don't think he's good enough for Arsenal at this point in time. So, yeah, I think if Aubameyang gets injured, he'll play. Other than that, maybe 10, 15 minutes off the bench, but not much more, I don't think. So, there we are.
More points than Origi, anyway.
Yeah, I think it's like 3-2, isn't it, or something? What are we doing next? Let's have a look at the game week 8 matches. First, Mac is such a fucking... See, it's me versus Mac this week. I put it top of the running order because I thought, oh, good, I'm playing Mac, so that'll be a nice little one for the preview. But he's not here. So, thanks, Mac. I am going to beat him by miles, I think. I just can't. I cannot see me not winning this week. Famous last words, but fuck it. I'm not worried about curses. I need to win for Manager of the Month. If I win, I get it. I've got De Bruyne and Mahrez at home to Burnley. It looks. I don't know. I haven't read anything the last couple of days, but it looks like Jesus is going to be out of the Burnley game. Do you know if that's still accurate, Mike? Yeah. So Mahrez, you think is going to play?
As far as I've seen, it's looking like he's not going to play. So I think this is Mahrez playing next game.
If you see City, when like you think, City players, and you picture them scoring like 5-6 goals, the teams I picture them scoring them against are Burnley and Watford. I don't know why, but in my head, at the Etihad, they're going to fucking do them. You've got to think. And if De Bruyne and Mahrez both start, I can't see me not getting like 15 points from the two of them minimum. So I'm cursing myself massively, but I think I'm going to have a good week. Mac, on the other hand, is at the moment he's set up with 5 at the back, which tells you everything you need to know about the rest of his team.
Billy Gilmore's the last on his bench. Like, why has he got Billy Gilmore? Full stop. Good question. Good question. I mean, he's got Aubameyang at home to Palace, but then I've got Smith Rowe. I obviously would rather have Aubameyang, but they're both in the same fixture. He's got Cancelo at home to Burnley. That's the only person that does scare me because I could imagine that being like a 20-point game. Yeah.
Cancelo's going to have a mad one at some point. The rest of his team...
I don't think Firmino's playing, is he?
Well, I think I saw Mike actually Jota's injured. I could be wrong.
But
I think it's the Brazil thing.
Position. Yeah, he's in the same position as Jesus. If Jesus isn't playing, Firmino's definitely not playing.
I think the problem is, it's not even like a COVID thing, is it? I think the problem is Brazil have a game Thursday evening, their time, which is like it's like 4 a.m. on Friday morning our time, their game. So they're not going to be able to fly home until like Friday lunchtime. So they're not going to get home until like Saturday morning, and they're going to be like jet lagged and that. So I don't think there's any way they could play on the Saturday. I think that's what the problem is, as far as I'm aware. And Brazil said they're not going to release him early. So I think that's the problem. So if Firmino doesn't play, that's good for me. But yeah, I don't see Mac doing much this week. Sorry, Mac, but trash. Brad versus Jord up next. I love it when we got someone playing Jord because he talks fucking shit constantly.
Yeah.
Brad, do you enjoy playing Jord?
I can't really think of where he's on.
Some people hate it.
I hate it. Well, if you beat him, it's fantastic because of the stick he gives you in the build-up. If you lose, it's awful because he'll keep on about it. But yeah, I don't know. Again, City Burnley is a big one for me. If Sterling starts, even if he gets 30 minutes, he could get a goal or two. I don't know. But and Diaz, hopefully a clean sheet. Other than that, fixtures aren't brilliant. George's got Son against Newcastle, so that could be a big one for him.
They are awful.
Yeah, so it's hard to call.
Yeah, it's quite a tight one. He's got Azpilicueta and Chilwell both away to Brentford as well, which could be good. But
I noticed that. Will Chilwell play again?
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm not convinced he will. Yeah, George's team, I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? He's got some decent picks, but
Rafinha, it could be in the same boat as the other Brazilians.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing.
Yeah, I don't think he'll play. So that's a big dent for George because he's been doing bits, hasn't he? Yeah, I think you're going to have a tight game. I think. Do you know what? This might be. I think this might be the week that Sterling starts up front. I think it will be Mahrez, Sterling, Foden in the front three, with De Bruyne and Gundogan in the two, and then Rodri. So I can see. I mean, Mug's game trying to predict the lineup, isn't it? But that would be my guess. So I can see you having a big week. I think. Vardy at home to United. I swear Vardy has a great record against United as well, especially like King Power. Yeah. So that's a good fixture. I mean, every fixture is a good fixture for Vardy because either he's playing against a shit team or he's playing against a good team, and he always does well in the big games anyway. So it doesn't really matter, does it? Cool. Okay, then. Next up, John, you've got the delights of playing Boar.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
How do you sorry, just quick, before I ask you how you think you can do you, I mean, you obviously don't, but how horrible is it playing against someone that has like your team's main man? Obviously, you're a United fan. It's shit, isn't it? You can't enjoy the United game now.
No, it's a lose-lose situation, isn't it? It's not nice at all. And I think he probably will do bits against Leicester as well. So, not looking forward to that. Leicester have looked leaky at the back. I think if Ronaldo has a double-digit return, I'm finished this week. Yeah.
Is Calvert-Lewin going to be back? Do you know?
I don't think so. Still got that stubborn toe.
Yeah, it's a pain, isn't it?
Oh yeah, he might be back, but he might not go straight into the team. They've been performing quite well without him.
That man Rondon, he can't be stopped. What at the moment you've got Sancho on your bench. Will it stay like that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I fancy Grob at home to Norwich more than Sancho away to Leicester.
Yeah, that's fair. And you can't really bench the rest of them, can you?
No.
Yeah, I like that pickup. Did you get that from my waiver video, John? Me and Mike tipped Pascal Gross massively. That picture, you didn't even. Oh well.
I didn't get that.
What can you do? There you go. Okay, yeah, I think you're going to win. I think that's. I don't. Although the only thing with Boar is Kovacic, Havertz, and Werner away to Brentford. I think Brentford will do all right in that game, but I think that's a goal. I think that's a goal fest. That game, maybe a 3-2 or something.
Yeah, it is.
It might be tough.
Yeah,
I think it might be a tough week to play Boar. I think. Next up, Mike, you are. Oh, it's the old man derby. The two oldest men in the chat, 40 years old apiece. And how do you think you're going to do against Dave this week?
So, I thought it was going to be an easy win for me. However, I've got possibly Jesus out. Jota might be injured. Thiago Silva's out. So
that's not great.
No, it's not great. But then I look at Dave's team and it's just shit.
It's awful.
It's awful.
It's bad, isn't it?
Worst team in the league ever.
He's got Tony against Chelsea. I can't see him doing much. Kane couldn't hit a barn door. Zaha against Arsenal. I think Arsenal are going to smash him.
Be tight.
Gundogan's injured. I think it could be low scoring. If Jota isn't in, if he's playing, I've got Mope against Norwich though. Nah, I'm going to win.
Yeah,
I'm going to beat him.
That is stinker of the week.
And he wants this, Dave, you're trash.
Yeah, I think you're gonna win. I don't like Dave's team at all. Sorry, Dave, but I don't. If you can't be honest, then what are we doing here? I don't like your team even much, but I like it for this week. Especially if we don't know about Jota yet. There's all sorts. The rumor mill during the international breaks goes mad. There's all sorts of rumors going around about Jota. So you think something's probably wrong with him. I think if all your players were playing, I think you'd have a great week. But yeah, the Jesus one hurts as well. Burnley at home is not one you want to miss.
No,
that's a pain. But Foden could go mad, couldn't he? So yeah, I think you might have it. That Mopay fixture looks great as well. So yeah, I think you'll be the old man derby victor. Elsewhere in the league, not involving us, we've got what I think could be an exciting game: Nick versus Nath, top of the league versus bottom of the form table. Nath's going to smash him, isn't he? What do you think, John?
Yeah, I've been quite impressed with Nate's team so far. Salah with Watford, that being an onslaught. Not awful. Benrahma versus and Antonio. Points there. Cucurella. Don't mean to give you PTSD, Joe, but
don't talk about
Cucurella. He's so good.
No comment.
But no, I think Nate's won that easily. By a landslide.
So you think it's Nick for the forfeit then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think, Brad? Do you think Nick's got a chance?
It all hinges on his Chelsea boys, Lukaku and Mount, I think, doesn't it? Which they could, you don't know.
And Alonso. And then
Alonso. Yeah. So that's what he's relying on, really. But Brentford won't be an easy game for him. Yeah, no, I can't look past Nath, as John said, with Salah and his West Ham boys.
Yeah, agreed. And I've saved what I have dubbed stinker of the week. John thinks it might be Mike versus Dave, and that is a good shout. I didn't put that as stinker of the week because Mike's on the pod and I thought it might be rude. So I've gone for, and I think we can all agree, if it's not the stinker of the week, it will be a stinker of the week, and that is Ben versus Connor. That has got stinker written all over it.
Yeah.
Mike, do you think your brother can pull something off against Connor, or is this just like an 18-all?
I don't know. I want to say Ben. I think Ben might actually. I think Torres might play. I actually think he might play up front again.
Yeah, he might.
Sorry, Brad, but I think he will play up front again. He'll get some goals. Sterling still might play. Fuck Grealish.
Yeah, he could play on the left.
Hopefully, Grealish gets a nice 9-month injury. Don't care if he plays for England. Ben's got the best player in the league, Decore, as he keeps saying.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Another 18 points there for Ben. Ben could do it. Duffy against Norwich. Duffy's insane. You look at his stats, what he's been doing.
Yeah. I don't like the rest of Ben's defence, though. Ben's defence, apart from Duffy, lets him down, I reckon.
Yeah.
He's got James, I guess.
I think he should play.
Good.
Oh, he can't play Prowsey, can he?
No.
I'll swap Iniacho for Adams. I'll drop Adams.
Doesn't actually have any choice.
He's injured anyway.
Only got 2 players. Adams is injured.
Yeah.
2 strikers.
No,
Ben's got a big forward size problem, hasn't he? I don't know how this has passed me by, but he's only got Adams and Iniacho. Neither nailed. Adams, how bad's Adams' injury? It's not that bad, is it? I think it's only a couple of weeks.
Hamstring, apparently.
Muscle injury.
Oh, well, it could be a month or so then, couldn't it?
But even when he plays, the last time he returned was game week 2, 6 points against United. So,
and even that wasn't great. That was a bit jammy, wasn't it, that return? So, yeah, I
think if I was Ben, I would look at dropping Adams and picking up Rondon personally, because Rondon will play for Everton.
He's just dropped Rondon. He had Rondon last week. I don't know who did he pick up?
That was John, wasn't it?
I had Rondon.
The week just gone. I'm sure Ben had it.
Yeah.
Oh no, he had Joe Linton. Sorry, he had Joe Linton. Sorry, I get. So he's just dropped Joe Linton, who may play again this week, although it's Spurs, so maybe he's thinking you don't want him for that fixture anyway.
Yeah, I can't blame there.
If I was Ben, I would seriously try and get a forward for someone like Souček. I'd be thinking like I'd be looking around for like a mid-tier forward. I think someone would take like a Bamford for Souček, or Souček just racks up the points to me. And I think Ben just needs like to get on the trade and do like
Douglas
a mid,
Luiz.
like
Swap him out.
maybe. But there's no real forwards of value on the waivers, is there? But Ben, if you're listening, Hwang is available. So offer me Decore or someone else good, and we'll talk. So yeah, that's my advice for Ben. But yeah, stinker of the week, that I think for sure. Connor, on the other hand, his team is all about United as always. Greenwood, Bruno, Shaw, and Varane is a lot of United. Leicester away. Leicester haven't been great, but that's still not a good fixture, is it? King Power. Yeah, I think that's still. You can't
expect United to concede.
Yeah, Connor. I said to Connor, he said, "Oh, I've got Varane and Shaw, and United keep conceding." I said, "Well, the defense hasn't been very good, so that's why you're not doing well." He said, "No, our defense is so good. It's just that we keep conceding every week." I'm like, hello, like, what are you saying here? So
I think that duo of Sanchez and Burn, which he's got, and then Shaw and Varane this week. Wait.
Yeah, see Burn doing an Italian flick.
Absolute shocker.
But,
I
think Varane is actually injured, isn't he?
Varane.
I'm sure he's got a thigh injury.
No, he's not. He's fine. I think
He's got a thigh injury, but I don't think it's very serious.
It's not serious. I think he came off in their international game, but I don't think it's like a big problem.
I think 3 months. 3 months at least.
Drop him, Connor. Odegaard at home to Crystal Palace, I reckon.
Yeah, it's a good picture.
Yeah.
I don't love the Odegaard pick. I just think he's depending on how we line up, he's either the second deepest in a midfield three or in a double pivot. So but he takes all the set pieces. Yeah, exactly. He's like a ball progressor, but he's not like arriving in the box. So I think he's probably the worst pick from like that bunch of Arsenal mids, to be honest. Yeah, I don't love it. I mean, he scored a great free kick, and his set piece delivery is really good. So he's always got a chance to pick up points, but I don't love it, to be honest. So cool. Right, well, that is all the games wrapped up. Does anyone have anything else they want to talk about before we wrap it up? I'll take your silence as a no. So if you enjoyed this podcast, please give us a like and make sure you subscribe so you catch all the videos coming up. We've got a FIFA tournament that we've done. No spoilers. Didn't go well for me. No spoilers. That is a spoiler, actually. Sorry. Mike is on the editing for that. He's not started yet because I've not sent him all the games over. So sorry about that, Mike. But yeah, that'll be coming up. So that should be a laugh. And yeah, please like the video, hit the subscribe button, and we will see you next week.
Ta-da.
Hey.